Okay, we're back again now. Let's see. Okay, Mashallah just joining us now. Come back to you guys. One moment.
Don't cut me off. Oh.
Who they talk? No. I'm not cutting anybody off. No, I want to talk now. I'm not giving anybody minutes.
Niger Watch, sorry, before you leave, I apologize. I didn't remember. If I had known, what I would have said was, Niger Watch, have a look at the private chat. That's what I should have said.
Exactly.
I didn't.
You're not supposed
I'm
to read
sorry.
them.
Yes, exactly. It's my fault, and I do apologize.
Yes.
It won't happen. It won't happen again. Particularly when the message.
Exactly. You know.
Now make her wake me up. Oh, I don't ready for her. May come back.
Yes, you touch you way.
I wish the Rasta judges would say, "Oh, we apologize for the mistake we made in giving this judgment." You know, you see how human being you can easily reason quickly. Say, "Oh, okay, we made a mistake." Now, who knows? Maybe tomorrow they should also come.
Earlier.
Okay, I'll check out.
Please.
Thank you.
Allah say these judges, not be say when they go there sick bed, then go begin confess. He say we are sorry. I'm sorry for the judgment I gave. But they no go confess when they go there sick bed. Like Okori Dogu did to fella when things
if they like me, they confess. Now that time we will take a flog them the more.
They then go down now. Can you imagine after how many years? Now people they talk say MKO actually won that election.
You see, that is the thing. They begin
That's what they are going to be saying because
they begin giving posthumous award, GCF
up and down. Name national stadium after
when he
the
don't
same
die.
People that fought him, how could they have won? People that quarreled with him, he declared himself president.
Honestly, Mr. Elvis does not know what he's doing now, but history. You don't know what you are doing now, sir. History. At least you've caught some of us driving, and we are trying to still stay on this panel. Sometimes you're leaving work, you are driving, and you history. You don't know what you are doing now. They are shouting social media. They say social media mob. Should be when they give the judgment. Obedient, we are in Abuja. We are on ground and we are on air. Obedient, they were on ground and we are also on air. So, Mr. Elvis, you don't know what you are doing now, but I know one day you will remember what you are doing.
But why is it? Okay, let me ask this question.
Can I say something? I'm the newest person here. Muna, give me a chance.
I know. No, if I ask this question, you go join.
We reserve you, Black Panther. We don't say you go. We don't say
Black
Panther.
If I ask this question, you go join them with your own answer. Just one single question. Why be say people will win an election con the verse? Why are they annoyed? You say you campaign, declare you winner. Why not go and start popping champagne? You still go about the campaign again. Why?
You're looking for obedience.
You win an election that you know you rigged, and people are not jubilating with you because you are angry because people are not jubilating with you the way you want them to do. That's what's happening.
And they are not only say that they verse, you know, they are just naturally aggressive.
May they rent crowd to buy them campaign.
Mr. Omola just said they are annoyed that people are not celebrating. Even
that's the anger.
God bless you. They are annoyed that people are not celebrating. But why would they celebrate?
Lagos, their own Lagos.
Look at judges. Look at this satanic demonstration from the judges.
Even if Sheffiman couldn't believe it that they did not strike him out. He was shocked. You mean we've gone this far?
No, he was not shocked. He was not shocked. He already knew. You know now.
I mean, like, I'm not saying with the way our judges, you know.
No, he was not shocked, sir. He was already, all of them were in a conference.
Somebody that doesn't have shame.
All these things.
Someone that doesn't have shame of anything, does not care how you do it. All is get me in government.
Make I greet everybody. Mr. Naija Watch. More grace. Thank you, everybody. I love the way you do.
Let's come out.
Make I be late come Make I be late come now. Obedient work I do for outside before I come in. We dey work with our principal. We are doing the underground work. Una no worry. You see, I came in because of that man that spoke that our brother will lose, Mr. Emekus. Mr. Kpekus. I remember when in the yarn, I just laugh. You see, one of the judges, I want to refer to one of the judges. He said one thing concerning the vice president nomination. He said that act was not intentional.
Yes.
You see, let me tell you the meaning of that thing when he talk. I don't go law school, but I'm an English student. And I read logic for mathematics very well. He said that crime was not intentional. The judge has just changed the criminal law of the world. That ignorance is an excuse when you commit the crime. Ignorance is now an excuse.
Your head did here. Your head did here.
You get me? Ignorance is an excuse to commit a crime. Ignorant an excuse worldwide now. Nigeria, the whole world, you are hearing me. He said a Nigerian judge that is a justice in Nigerian Supreme, whatever the Galibanti court they call themselves. He said ignorance is an excuse to a crime. That it was not intentional for a man to commit a crime against the Constitution and the law guiding an election.
Black Panther
nomination. So that is to tell you that many of the justices in Nigeria, like Odili and his gang up, putting his children into the hierarchy of a justice, that is to tell you how far and how destructive those children are be programmed to destroy Nigeria more. And this is to tell you that this generation that are gallivanting to bring the country down now, Nigeria down, most of them, I bet money. Most of them did get 3 credits. Three. After all, our state governor, now 3 credits he get. Most of them not get it. 3 credits. Let me put that up more small so that I go collect the number of people. 4 credits. Go and check their university, how they entered the university and how they got into the law school. There must be a red flag somewhere. Because a justice cannot walk up to me and tell me that somebody that committed a crime because of ignorance, I should set him loose. That is the kind of justice you have in Nigeria. That is to show you that just that fundamental statement alone that I heard, I went through all over again, that I heard, I know confirmatory that those judges were giving money. Because no justice can say that pronouncement in the court of law. That is sacred. In pronouncement of a justice for 2 people that are looking for justice. A justice pronouncing that is not supposed to be on the bar. Neither should he work his way to that level and that hierarchy in the Nigerian Justice Department. That is an irony. He has desecrated the institution of law. That was why I said to them yesterday, to the parents that are trying to make their children go for law school, they should desist in that and let their children go and study what will make them be productive and improve the economy of their country, Nigeria. That is the reason why I say so, because this era, until we change now, and I know why they said they don't want the Justice Department to be renovated, as we come on and we say. They don't want renewed justice theorem in Nigeria. They want to follow the old format where they will receive money. I knew they will receive money. I knew they don't want, they planned it all along. That we shouldn't bring, when they said they should not use, when we said let them video them, they said no, it's against the implement, it's against the rules and regulation of Nigerian justice. Blah, 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 all of them came out. We never knew they were planning for their own rainy day today, that when they're about to make the justice. They are about to make the pronouncement of what they have seen. They now say, bring the camera, but don't show our face. That is to show you the level of criminality in Nigeria Justice Department. Because if you see from their tonation when they were reading justice, they were fidgeting. They were asking themselves, what did you write there? What is there? That is to show you that that thing was not typed, but was handwritten. Because they use glasses like me. They can see. But when you use your handwriting, you will ask the next person, what did he write here? That is to show you that it's a common criminal way of investigating. Now, when somebody makes a statement, you know that that thing is not typewritten, but handwritten. That was why that justice asked the next judge, what is written here? Can you help me to say it? In that blow, if you look at it, if they have shown them, you would have seen the criminality in them. You will definitely move that mic somewhere else to say something to the next judge. That to show you that it was an arrangement. That is why they are rats and gullible ones have now come out to say, like what Epekus was saying now. They have not come out to say, did the be win? The judges, we did not have any proof. When you subpoena INEC, they refuse to bring anything. The judge now asks them, what do you want me to do? You people know they remember all this when they talk.
Yeah,
I remember.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you said now, that should now make our lawyers, the certified copy that you got, if it's possible, go and look for YouTube video, or maybe ask for the recorded of that when you were reading that judgment.
No, they will do that. They will do that.
Line by line, make sure, because these guys, line by line, make sure what they read is what is captured on that hard copy. Exactly. If they are listening to us tonight,
give us my mandate.
Let me speak one.
I can bet you those guys are criminals. They will edit what they wrote.
Let me say one adage my grandparent told me. I want to say some Benin people are here. I'm going to say it to CM, and because of the argument you had with that guy, I'm going to say it out so that they will not define it for you. You will not know why I said so. My grandparents said, in a language, said, halfway, emiamiao. I want any Benin man to interpret it to CM, so that he no go just bother himself too much. Halfway, emiamiao.
Any Benin man there, you're not the online.
I think Chris.
No Benin man there, yeah.
Black Panther.
No,
Black Panther. You not pronounce it well. You not pronounce it.
No. He say what
hold on,
forget eye.
You not feel bad when you forget your eyes. Yes. Oga Chris don't talk him. Yes. You not feel bad when you forget your eyes. I where miao.
As if you are betting, you bet and forget to wash your face.
And let me quickly say this, my people. Black Panther, hold on. Let me quickly say this. Somebody just said that the judgment in the court that they might edit it and deliver. It's not possible. You know why?
Mr. Elvis.
Yes, sir.
If people can change your constitution in your
hold on now. Hold on, sir.
Wait. Let him finish.
These guys can do it.
Let him.
Don't be surprised. I'm saying it now. Don't be surprised that lawyers will complain about it. Don't be surprised.
Don't worry. Let Niger Watch finish what he wanted to, so that.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that they cannot change it. I know they will change it, but it's not possible for it to stand. You understand? So there are that video from beginning to the end. We have it. We are going to take their words by their words, right? So how are you going to defend that? Except we don't have judiciary in Nigeria. Now because they go Supreme Court. In case you don't know, the main reason of going to the Supreme Court is not just to win, is to record it down in the history of Nigeria.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes,
very beautiful.
yes, everybody should have that in mind. If we win, is a good thing. But wait till they do so for tribunal, may they go do one for Supreme Court. So they go did the history of Nigeria that we don't have judiciary anymore. But at this moment, now you know officer will not get judiciary because you are only blaming a small part of the judiciary of Nigeria. Thank you. Now that I wanted to say. Mother of all, mommy diaspora, can see you right there. Thank you very much, mommy.
So,
yes,
Mr. CM,
Hold on. I want to ask a question. Are you telling me that the Supreme Court, they will not behave the same way these guys have just done?
I'm not telling, nobody's telling you that. What I said is that it's good for you to go to Supreme Court so that you can have a proper record. At this moment, you don't have a proper record. You only have a small portion of the judiciary of Nigeria that have given this satanic judgment. And you cannot take this. For example, Mr. Peter Obi withdraw right now. Me, myself, I'll be against Peter Obi because you withdraw. You want us to hold tribunal, in our heart forever. And then we will not be generalizing that the Nigerian judiciary are corrupt. No, the whole body, as of today, we cannot say all of them are corrupt because the Supreme Court have not demonstrated that to you yet.
Yes.
So going to Supreme Court is the best.
We need to explore all the democratic channels. Without that, you cannot really
Exactly.
say.
So at this moment, now you can only say five of them is corrupt.
Yes.
So, Mr. CM, that parable, make you go sleep with her, man. Think calm. You go get definition where we're in your own way. My grandmother tell me that thing. I go sit down and look ceiling. When I get her, man, I have to move forward. See that emekus, where it come. You go see waiting tomorrow. Go talk for her. He get your own page, Joe. He get your own page for tomorrow. He go that page, then go open them for her. Now all of us they inside this pool. Me not they go anywhere. Now there we there. So we are going to see because history is going to be made, and the people that are in that history that want to balkanize the largest concentration of the black nation in the world, which is Nigeria, they want to balkanize it, and they want to show it that Emilio Con, turn by turn, Nigeria Limited, and we are standing against it. Look, when time reach, their eyes, it go open, and no mercy will come for them. Mercy will be far from them. Mercy will be far. Because in a revolution, mercy they far. Don't be say God, no, don't be say we go contrary to the word of God. No, that's so he be. We there for WAR front now. Mercy no day. Let them bring all the things they want. Let them go to Supreme Court and tear the constitution. After one guy don't burn him now. He burn him for Facebook. They burn the wig of lawyers. He burn them now. Anyhow, may they go catch and arrest them now. Is that guy not believing in it before? He has seen it now. His eyes has opened. He has seen it now. He now went and burned it. But we that have seen it, we are like the Methuselah. We have seen it before, but we spoke it, but they refuse us. They have now joined us in the WHR front. We are there. We have spoken it, and we are beginning to tell people that come around to say, oh, we can manage this. Your own fellow citizen burnt that 1999 constitution. Straight, he burnt it. Many will go ahead and tell you, many will take that wig and the gown, they will burn it tomorrow because in the Supreme Court, they will desecrate that place. And you see lawyers will retire as lawyer. Mark my word, lawyers will retire after that judgment. Lawyers, a lot of lawyers will retire after that judgment. Thank you.
I agree with you. I agree with your delivery, Black Panther, because sometimes, what people do not give some thought, serious thought to is this. They say, hey, as a judge, you do not judge with public opinion. You don't listen to social media. You face the facts. Law is law. It's not emotion. But as a judge, after giving judgment, no celebration anywhere in Nigeria. What does that tell you? Do you, the judge, sometimes you review the case you said. You say, it's like they play football, you score goal, nobody they celebrate. Upon say you score, they score goal, nobody. You go worry. Say, see people full stadium. Yet I score goal, nobody, not even clap and nothing. You go there disappointed. It's either you use your hand, you just carry ball, go pull for net. They expect me they clap for you. That's why you go to wonder. Say, I use hand score 'em. So we know all these things that are happening, but the only thing is that some of us, when we remember home, you think back, you see the level of suffering, what people are going through. Particularly, it's like saying somebody is in the middle of Atlantic Ocean, and then you are looking for water to drink or water to wash your face. It's a shame, really. That's why sometimes when you see some people, supporting pure evil, and you start to wonder, what really are they made of? I've come to the conclusion that to a greater extent, the problem with Nigeria and Nigerians in the diaspora, they magnify the thing. Those at home, well, they may say they are helpless, they give them money, a cup of gari. But you that lived in claim to live in the civilized world, you've seen the way things are. Don't you wish what you are going through, the type of life you are living, don't you wish it on your people back home? Or you want them to be sentenced to, if a trailer from Abuja bring rice to the state, they go queue up, maybe 100 people to one bag of rice, they go share and one cup. Is that the best? You eat
Yeah,
it on
yeah.
you
So
eat it on a Monday. What happens on Tuesday? Yes.
you did listen to where one of the judges said that the intentions of the lawmaker regarding to one of the sessions there could be intention. Then I was like, okay, since you're reading the intentions of the lawmakers right now regard to this law or this session, how about the intention of those who intentionally switch off the beaver? So you could not read that switching off
Uh,
of beaver was done intentionally. So you couldn't read that. So you could read the intentions of the lawmaker. You're trying to read their own intention, but it's written there, you know, openly. You're telling us about the intentions of the lawmaker. They might not really mean. Then why did they write it if they didn't mean exactly what they're saying? What
it's
if you
true.
listen to the judgment? You'll be embarrassed that you came from Nigeria. You'll be embarrassed that you ever hold a Nigerian passport. That these guys they think that maybe they think that Nigerians are illiterate. You know, a lot of people. I don't know why they did that. Another thing I'm saying is that maybe they're also giving us a body language, telling us to come to their rescue. That they, if we don't help them, that they can't help us. And that's why I'm saying that I think the military need to take note of it very quickly.
Well,
Well, my own is just that, like I said earlier, we really have to be careful so that we don't fall into the narrative that these guys have created.
mm,
They create a narrative and everybody starts reasoning along that trajectory. You can see even on national television, you see a lot of people that are supporting Tinubu. They kept justifying the fact that he had 8 million votes. And nobody ever remembered to talk about the fact that these 8 million votes were fraudulent votes. Nobody talks about the voter suppression that the Tinubu gang they did to the Labour Party and other political parties. But people are focused. They are just focused on Tinubu had 8 million. 8 million from where? 8 million my foot, for God's sake. No, because at times I just look at us. No matter, we can just keep complaining the black man is funny, but Nigeria is a special breed of black men. We are just a special breed because the things that happens in Nigeria, they are most of the time they are first in the world. You can imagine how those judges, their composure, listen to their voice giving judgments. They became automatically the oh my God. Now some people were saying they were lashing out at the lawyers of Peter Obi. So why did they not lash out at Wale and Alikbako and co? Imagine somebody that the lawyers that were defending Tinubu, they brought only one witness.
Hey.
Why did the lawyers not? Why did the judges? Why did they not lash out at? So they want to tell me that they didn't find any fault in what Tinubu's lawyers did. They didn't find any fault. That it was Peter Obi's lawyers that they focused on. The men were even more composed, and compared to the women, you can say the men showed some level of decorum. Decorum in quotes. I'm not saying decorum, I'm just saying compared to the woman.
Yeah.
That woman was just ranting and ranting away, as if she's quarreling with her fellow colleague in the market. Is it not that same woman they said her son is in whether House of Rep in APC or whatever? One of the judges, the son is a House of Rep elect member in APC. So do we even expect anything from these guys? Because my own is that we should just be careful we don't fall into their narrative and start following along. We should be careful that we don't discuss the story they have created.
It's true.
We really have to be careful about that we don't follow the story they have created. The next thing they will tell you that Peter Obi won in Lagos after all.
Yeah.
Was that a story? Was that a story? The story is not whether he won in Lagos or no. The story is about the votes that were suppressed in Lagos. Till today, look at everything that has passed. Nobody is talking about them. Voter suppression by all tactics. People in the south, in the southeast, in the southwest, they couldn't get their voters card, whereas people in the north, they got their own freely.
Mm-hmm.
Even we in the southwest now, even we in the south, sorry, we were still responsible for suppressing ourselves, separate from what INEC was doing. We, because of our own personal interest, we were also responsible for suppressing our own votes. Now, nobody is talking about all those. Nobody is bringing all those to bear. You can imagine another story they are creating that how do you expect Peter Obi to have won when he didn't get 25% in any of the Sharia states? That is the story. That is the narrative. That is the story that INEC has created. But was that actually the true story? Was it actually true that Peter Obi didn't get 25% in any of the Sharia states? The answer is simply no. The votes in those states were suppressed. The answer is no. But they bring all these arguments into the forefront and use this argument to support the fact that Peter Obi couldn't have won. But whereas that's not what the data is saying. The data is saying something completely different. Okay, people that keep questioning Peter Obi didn't get 25% in the 12 Sharia states, what about the fact that Tinubu was beaten home and away by the same person? Peter Obi defeated him home in Lagos,
Mm-hmm.
defeated him away in Abuja. So if you think somebody that didn't win his state, didn't win Abuja can become the president, so why can't somebody that didn't get that 25% that they talked about, why can't he also become the president?
They mind them.
Now they've suppressed all the votes and they created a story that everybody should follow along. And we should be careful how we tag along these stories. We really need to be careful. Before you know, we'll start amplifying their thoughts. We start amplifying their wishes. We start amplifying what they want. They take control of the situation. It's just like throwing a narrative and everybody follow along the narrative. In so doing, we become lost in the labyrinth. We become lost in the true picture of what really happened during that day. There's a match. I don't know, we have football followers there. There's a football match between Chelsea and Barcelona. I think it was 2005. We saw that referee, he robbed Chelsea broad daylight. He robbed Chelsea completely. And then there was argument. People, no, it was okay. But after how many years? After how many years? So now they are beginning to say, okay, well, actually, it was a robbery. But the deed has been done. The glory has been taken. Just like we said, MKO Abiola is gone. June 12, 1993 is gone. And we just hope this does not end like this. It was a very profound statement Mr. Ives made earlier on, that no matter how this thing goes, it has to get to the Supreme Court. Let them shamelessly put this. Let it be on the public forum. And do you guys know that judgment, Hope Uzodima's, that victory, till today is not on INEX portal.
You see
Till
now.
today, that victory that the Supreme Court used in giving Hope Uzodima the governorship seat, that result is still not on INEC portal till today. That's to tell you, these guys, they know what they are simply a bunch of vampires. They are a band of witches. They know exactly what they are doing. They can never in any way pretend to act as if the whole fault is coming from the judges of the lawyers of Peter Obi. No way. They can't convince me about that. To be honest with you guys, that very first day, I was taken aback. I was, most of those statements, they got me angry. I started questioning. You mean these judges, these are our lawyers, what were they doing? This is like a secondary school mistake.
Let people assume. Sorry, let people assume that the lawyers made some mistake. How about the constitutional requirement?
Exactly my point.
Okay,
Now
even if you said, "Oh, okay, these lawyers you were angry because," but now it has gotten to the constitution, whereby
that is what toggled me
you
to
overlooked
reality.
it, you trash it, you told us that the constitution does not exist anymore. Come on, guys, come on.
That is what toggled me to reality. I was frustrated. I said, these lawyers, they could have done this, they could have done that. But there's nothing like one of my lecturers said, you can never move forward in life if you don't create time for personal reflection. From time to time, I now have to sit down and I look at everything and I look at the judgment. And the first thing that came to my mind, okay, so why the anger? Why were they angry? What about all the games they'll be playing? Okay, what about the fact that they didn't look at what the Constitution is saying? What about that they didn't look at previous judgments? The same previous judgment, everybody is quoting Nikki Toby now. Any of those people, have they delivered any judgment that will be used as a reference point in future? The answer is simply no. The answer is simply no. It's a gang up. The different interests. It's a different level of interest against the victory of Peter Obi. It's a different level of interest. They are the businessmen interest. They are the corrupt people interest. They are the tribal interest, religious interest, and the interest of those that fundamentally believe that it is haram for the Southeasterner to be the president over them. So if you put all these interests together, which interest is remaining? How can somebody 2 times you won through the popular vote in parentheses, and there was no celebration?
Exactly.
The court gave you victory again, still no celebration.
No celebration.
Both judgment was just like graveyard silence. Both of them.
See, okay.
Come on, Nigerians.
There's something I wanted.
I
There's something I wanted to let's look at it this way. Let's also even assume that the Bala Blue had a program. What has he been able to do? What are you telling me if he's so busy since May 29th now? You should have seen action. Instantly, what is this guy doing? Nothing. He has forgotten about power. Nothing. Forgotten about restructuring. Nothing. No, that's anyway, Nigeria is practically dead now when a dead man is in charge. So you can imagine that. And people are still going about from one platform to the other preaching. We finish campaign. You say you won. Go and be popping champagne and be celebrating and blowing siren everywhere. Drive your car. Yet you are still going. The small obedient people where they together, they analyze the next move. You go there, they put mouth for what now? By now.
Dr. CM,
Yes, please.
do you know that these judgments,
Yeah.
if it was done properly, would have been a better judgment for deciding maybe like a citation for law students in school?
Yes. So that
But now,
it become a classical. But it
if
will still be cited though.
it will be
But you see,
cited, but it
but
will just be like a
yeah,
laughing stock
that is
in very in classrooms.
what a judgment should not be. What a judge example of a bad judgment. They will use
No,
it to cite.
no,
Yeah.
it will be called how not to judge a
Uh,
presidential election. How
election.
not
Yeah,
to judge
something.
a presidential election.
Hmm? No, the thing is terrible. To be honest with you, the thing is. Do you know when I knew that something is amiss? We were just. I think I came in. Niger Watch. I think turned to channel or so. I looked at Niger Watch. I said okay because I was going somewhere. Quickly checked my mobile phone. It was channels. So I said okay. Channels. Who was that? Was it this Komolafe or so? Then Okim Baloye was in the court, also sleeping. He also slept in the court. Okay, Baloye slept. I wonder how it's going to report it. So I was looking at it exactly 9:27. Then the thing started. So when they started giving, I think the first paragraph, somebody from US phoned me. He said, "Did I say what? Am I listening to it?" I said, "I'm listening." No. He said, "What can you make of it?" I said, "Well, maybe I need somebody to interpret, to translate what they're saying in English language to me so that I can understand." I said, "What are they talking about?" Everything dismissed. This he said, "I told you." So that was when I knew. And then the most important thing is that I don't even see the faces of the judges. That of Kenya. You see it's like you are looking at if you are in the church, you are looking at either the pastor or the reverend father, if he's the one. I mean, or if just like you are watching football in the stadium, your eyes, you see the people playing it. Now you'll be looking at them. In this case, nobody saw. It was only Ozeko then that stood there in the front row, and the others I'm seeing, and then those behind. Who are those reading now behind the bar? Say hi. And they're even afraid to show their face. Hey, man, it's terrible. I cannot believe that. That's nothing work. But what this is the end where hey, let's see. But I still believe that I'll be watching the news about the Big Tent up till 12th. Let me see because I said that I heard that they're going to occupy Nigeria, but I won't
You
bet on
see,
it.
Mr. CM,
Yeah.
when they started doing this before, when the thing started, I called Najawa because I was awake throughout. When they just start to view, I just carry phone. Najawa, wake up. I did say, no Greek go. Now I forget. I say maybe you don't sleep. When I come, they listen. Then they talk. The man they talk go somewhere. I say, I call my wife. I say, the judge, they show them again. No see them. I mean, I don't know themselves. I just see picture. And my wife say they don't start. Now the first thing my wife tell me say, they don't capture. Say if they don't show their face, that means say they don't capture. They get one thing where they want to do. When I come hear they throw away many, I can't say okay, maybe that one. But I know say this one go hang them 25%. Me I see how they will interpret
Yeah.
because the Supreme Court don't interpret that one before. So make I see how they will interpret that. That was where I was waiting for because that's the only way they can say go and do re-election again. Because
well,
now only one. But when I can't see them, they can't say the end. Abuja, they should be treated like other Nigerians. I say, it don't happen. They don't get money. That was how I just switch off my television straight.
As they start, when I started hearing expunge, what are you expunging?
Mm.
I don't say, they don't begin delete things. They delete things by themselves. I don't know if that was the end. There was no need watching again. I just on the TV, might just see them.
I think the APM one that they did, if they have, so they did that one for APM, so that when it gets to our own case, they can just be referring to those APM. If we have done it in that one, there's no need to go by it here. It will just take the same suit. Now, but the question is, these justices and these judges and all of them, do they even have families that are Nigerians? If you see the way Bolaji, that lady spoke, that woman spoke, I know like this guy, it's like maybe they drank something that got them intoxicated and
It's possible.
angered. It's possible because they can't just do it with their own human face.
It's,
They have to take
it's called
something.
bribe money. It's called bribe money. They got enough of it.
Popular vote, even if he escaped popular vote, Agbado was not supposed to escape disqualification from forfeiture of money, from 25%, and from double nomination. These are key constitutional provisions. There was no way he would have been able to escape double nomination, 25%, and forfeiture of money. Think about it. That's a drug case. Have you ever heard where a drug case has defeated a civil case? But you're not surprised when you hear that from our lawyer, our judges. That it was a civil case. They consider it a civil case.
Somebody is not muted. There's
your judges said that it was a civil case. They consider it a civil case. That same case, drug case, in Asia, it's like a death penalty. In Asian countries, your court. In European countries, maybe like life imprisonment or some years or 10 or 20 years imprisonment. In United States, in its own level, at that level, it's a life imprisonment. So something that was supposed to be a life imprisonment and he escaped. So they consider it a civil case. Think about that.
The one that was even shocking is that to have said that, okay, the money in my account left my account. For example, my Bank of America account, I kept $460,000 there, and that money grew legs, left my account, went to commit crime, and that money came back as a paper and stayed back in my account. Because basically that was what they said, that it wasn't Tinubu that committed that crime, it was his account.
What it means is Tinubu's money is working for him. He has his money has leg and hand, has mouth to do.
Yes.
Another question would be: is it possible for United States government, without indicting you, to ask for a forfeiture? Is there anywhere that is written in the United States law?
God bless you, sir. God bless you. Great question.
Is there anywhere it's written in U.S. Constitution that yes, the government can seize your money without indicting you, without you committing a crime? Is it possible?
That one again.
As
That
a
one
matter
on
of
his own.
fact,
That one is a crime on his own. Is a crime on his own.
As a matter of fact, forfeitures usually come as a result of some negotiation between the attorney of the plaintiff and, in this case, the state and the defendant. So it's one of those agreements they make, and then somebody signs.
Just in case you don't want to go to jail.
Yes. So if you were to get the whole file of that case, you will see where Tinubu signed that he's leaving the money, and in return, they will not prosecute him because they've actually thought about it. Before they can make you that kind of a deal, they will calculate, okay, if we get him and imprison him for 5 years, we will be feeding him for 5 years, we will be taking care of his medical bills, we will be doing all of those. But hey, if we just collect this 450,000 and let him go, we will make money. So it's a deal that was signed, and they let him go. So
now let's also look at this guy. This guy currently in jail now in US. Let's look at that guy's case, and that's about.
Look at it this other way. Look at it this other way. If Tinubu were to be in the US, I believe he's a resident that time. If he were to be in the US, he would not have voted, because that deal they had will be counting against him as a convict or as an ex-con. So he wouldn't have even had a right to vote, not to even run for election. But here in Nigeria, he doesn't only have the right to vote, but he is now the president.
The number one citizen.
Yep, somebody that wouldn't have even voted in the US as a result of that case. But I know that those justices know that one too. Their argument that US didn't ban him from coming. Of course, he's not banned. He can be coming and bringing his money. But if he wants to invoke that of course, he's probably as at that time only a resident and not a citizen. But if he were a citizen, he would not be able to vote in the US under that kind of a deal. And now he's running all over the place in Nigeria as our #1 citizen. It's a shame, actually.
Now, another thing I want to say, Tinubu does not even go to the United States. He doesn't
Oh,
travel to the United States.
he
Yes,
can be
he can
coming.
travel. Ever since he left the United States, if you check record, he has never stepped his foot back. So, for example, it's just like what happened in Honduras, when the guy before they went to extradite that guy, the guy never stepped his foot, and they never banned the guy from coming in because they were also waiting for him to come in so that they can. They just, but when they found out the guy was not coming in, they have to apply to extradite him back to the United States when they finally identify him, the former president of Honduras. So they may not ban him from entry, but because he's also he's a
He
smart guy, so he never attempted going back or visiting uh, the United States.
he just pulled a fast one on Nigeria and a very shameful one too. Oh well, the only thing I'm really very interested in is how do we get there? We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that this petition issue uh, from the Constitution of Nigeria has 180 days, and those 180 days are coming real fast. Like this new one that the tribunal is playing, it's already going to cut off about 4 or 5 days. And then when it gets to the Supreme Court, instead of fast tracking, which situations like this, in any government, they will fast track the case instead of them clearing their dock to handle this. And if it requires doing marathon series, 12 hours a day, fine. I bet you when it gets to Supreme Court, they will just key it as any other thing. This is not any other case. This is a serious existential case for the country. Like in the US, there's no way. In fact, the docket of the Supreme Court will be cleared from A to Z. And the justices may do like 12-hour days, even Saturday and Sundays if they have to. But that is the real fast tracking of cases like this one. I bet you the Supreme Court will not give it that kind of status. And they will be doing all this scheduling, oh, submit this, and then this other person do this. And that's my fear. They will be doing that, and that 180 days will elapse. I think that's what they are planning. And we should be, like Dr. Haruna Goro said the other day, what is our plan B? We should be opening the doors of that plan B now, because time is not on our side.
I think that a lot of people already have plan B, and I think that plan B will not even be discussed on a public uh, platform because you see, we just need to be smart, and because if you look at some most countries, for example, I'm not saying sometimes I don't want to say this so that people don't get discouraged. I'm never, never, I was never in any way, I never believed that they were going to get justice. My point was that let's just go and take a try, so that just so people can really see exactly what's happening. Because when you're telling people that Nigeria is in it's not that state capture, a lot of people still don't understand. But with this first judgment, people openly saw what happened. They've seen, okay, even the military, they've seen that, okay. For example, I was reading a paper where some Nigerian military young officers, they wrote to the chief of army staff 3 days ago. They were demanding that some generals be immediately removed from their position for lack of negligence of duties. That according to the Nigerian military rules, that a military is not supposed to stay in the barrack for more than four years. That for the past 8 to 10 years, that most military officers, they've not been moved from one barrack to another. That's because of that, there's a fraud and all sorts of. I mean, so I was reading kind of like Nigerian military young junior officers writing to the chief of army staff demanding for top generals to immediately, they say immediately be removed. So when things start to go that route, you understand that the military themselves, they are getting wiser, and they are looking. They accuse those generals of enriching themselves with the money, because they usually print out a rotation roster that this is the 3rd quarter of the year that transfer had not been done, and that's because of as a result of corruption. So they already accused their senior officers of corruption, and that was just 3 days ago. 3 days ago, you see.
Let me help you out somehow to open the thing wider a little bit. You see, what is happening in the military now, as you have said now, query have started from the junior ranks. And when this query starts, when this query start emanating from somewhere, and it is going round, and as it's going round, talks are on the ground. Because if they refuse to transfer them, to move them round, talks will be going round. What is really happened in the headquarters? And if the junior officers that are stationed in the headquarters are not seeing a very good green light, then messages will be going down to motivate the junior officers down there that they should get ready. Because there's some kind of thing that goes around in the military that is very, very fundamental, that need to be done. When those processes are not done, messages will definitely come down to the lower ranks, and the lower ranks will become very steady, ready for anything. Because coup is not when you sit down and start planning. No, there are some kind of messages that comes in that they know that, look, this is a green light. We should all be smart and be ready for anything. They'll be listening, because every military group you see there, they all have their favorite. And they all have their commander that they know this commander is smart and is upright to the top. And if that commander decide to go around the lower ranks, then you begin to see some things happening, because what is going to happen is going to catch up with them like a smoke. They won't know, because they know that if they know, they will cut it off. That was why I was saying that the military, we don't know what's going on in their mind. We should get our own mind itself, be ready for anything. Because what we cannot do, the military can be able to do. We don't know what's in their mind, and we don't know the kind of changes they themselves would like to do when they even get there by force. Because the state of the military, there's a new wave, and the new wave of generation of military are coming into place now that we don't know. But we need to know it, because if they strike, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to go as usual. I just pray every one of us should be ready for anything, because this is
when I saw those messages, when I saw those kind of They didn't keep peace. They were they are demanding. You know, you should win. I mean, I grew up in those type of settings and also being part of those stuff. So when the military, when younger officers are telling you that they are demanding for this, you just know that you. I said something before you came in. I said, according to the statistics, if things would not change in few months, Nigeria will not have money to pay military salary. Do you understand what that means? Money to pay our soldiers. You know what that means? People don't really understand the meaning of that. When a military man is sitting down, he's looking at the country, a senator is collecting almost 40 million naira every month, plus 2 million naira poverty alleviation program, whatever they call it. I want you guys to think about that. 2 million after collecting almost 40 million naira, you ask for extra 2 million naira that you are poor as poverty alleviation. I mean, my friends, if you're a military, you're a military officer, you are out there. Oh my goodness. See, we're not hearing you. Looks like you're muted.
That alone is enough to even get them enraged. That alone is enough to get them enraged. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You're muted.
Sorry. So how can ministers and House of Rep be taking is it a poverty alleviation? So are they poor?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Nigeria is a funny country. So which means the president can take poverty alleviation.
Yeah.
Somebody went on, you forget that guy that went on Arise and said that the money they are being paid is not enough. That ever since they were sworn into office, they've not been paid salary. You forget that video?
Yes, I remember. Yes, I remember. I remember.
Only God can help us.
How can people in top office going to take poverty alleviation? So poverty reach
after collecting almost 39 to 40 million naira every month. So
to be honest with
you believe that they still believe that they are poor, that they need to collect poverty alleviation, money, and they were giving. So in Nigeria, senators and members of House of Rep, they are now collecting 2 million naira as poverty alleviation program. And then our military, I think the youngest officer or the smallest collects about 53,000 naira. That's the salary.
So
you remove 42,000 naira maybe for bag of rice. He's left with how much? And you go to the barracks where they sleep, they are like bunch of, they pack them like chicken. These are people defending our country. These are people.
One thing I know is this: we can never know the truth about Nigeria until P2P gets in. We can never know the truth. All these things, the working, what goes on, until P2P goes in with his brand of leadership, then things we now start to know what exactly is going on. So this money they are borrowing. When they borrow it, they share. And Peter said it. They borrow this money, they share it. So at that level, they are still collecting poverty alleviation. So which means Nigeria. Aye!
It's a mad system. It's something that you wonder if these guys if they have if they even reason, because you just couldn't understand why they reason that way. They don't even think what Nigerians would think. They're not even reasoning that way. That with all this money that they are taking, that they don't know how Nigerians will feel, and they publicly discuss it that they are poor. So our members of House of Rep told Nigerians that they are poor. So when you look at their salary, I think member House of Rep takes almost close to 30 million naira, while a senator takes almost close to 40 million naira every month, every month. And then our military, they are being paid 53,000 naira, you know, and our military are not poor. Our officers, younger officers, junior officers, they are not poor. So they are very rich with 53,000 naira. So a senator is already collecting close to 40 million naira. He's a poor man, and he needs to get a poverty alleviation program money, which is 2 million naira. So how much is they give it to our own military? How much are they using to take care of them? So what are the benefits? I don't even understand the Nigerian military. That they don't have benefit. Some of their benefits they don't give it to them.
But it's true. But you know, sometimes it would have been nice. Sometimes we engage a serving military officer. Maybe even if he's a friend, let's know what really is going on. You know, this poverty in Nigeria, are they really paid? How much are they getting?
I just told you how much they are paying. 53,000 naira. One of the military officers that I spoke with, junior officer, is a close member to me. Before I didn't know it was 53,000 naira. It was through him that I got to know that our military, the junior officers, they collect 53,000 naira salary. That's how I got to know. Because I was thinking it was maybe to be up to like a 100,000 naira, you know, kind of stuff like that. And he said no, it's 53,000 because it's very, very junior. So it's 53,000 naira. So how much? So I was asking him, how much do you survive? How can you survive with that? He said it's very hard. It's very hard to survive. And he was complaining that that's why sometimes you see some of these military people committing crime, you know. Sometimes you see them committing crimes and stuff. Why? Because the government, they are neglected by the government. The generals don't care. Look at the accusation regards to about 3 days ago, regards to the letter they sent to the chief of army staff. Look at the accusation that they don't take care of their junior officers. So the junior officers are the ones complaining now that the generals don't take care of their junior officers, that their embezzling money is based on corruption, this, that. So if they are already accusing their own generals of corruption, remember, generals are just appointee. They appointed, they can just appoint them, you know, in different positions, kind of like, you know, by the president. So the junior officers right now are complaining that they are being treated badly. They are not rotated then, number one, for the past 10 years. So a military is not supposed to, according to the Nigerian military rules, you're not supposed to allow a military to stay in a barrack for more than 4 years. So they have time limit, they can stay in the barrack. So they'll be there for 8, some of them be there in the particular barrack for 8 years, some of them be there for 10 years. So think about that. And now they're complaining. You know what these politicians want to do? They want to destroy the security architecture of Nigeria. They are building their own private security stuff. So when they finally destroy the security architecture of Nigeria, then our military will not have the capacity anymore to resist any form of external attack or any form of even internal attack. So once that happens, the country is completely captured. Why will you not? Why will you not build your military? Why will you not, you know, empower your military?
There is no money in Nigeria. In fact, anything is possible in that country. I didn't know that Nigeria can be this broke.
I wish I just wake up tomorrow and I see a breaking news. The Nigerian military, they've restored the country back, and they've just told Tinubu, hey, return the jet back, and you don't come back. I wish that would just happen. Say, hey, tomorrow breaking news. Tomorrow, believe me, I'll be the first to call cameras to support them. Say, okay, yeah, this is. Then I will introduce myself openly. This is who I am, and I'm supporting you guys. Go on.
That would be a good celebration, honestly.
Yeah, I'll be the one because I know if I told my name, they will see it, they will check me out, they will run about, they'll say, yeah. Because if I support them, America will back off, other some countries they will back off. If I say I support you, go on, America will back off. Yes, they might be talking, believe me, they will not really do that much.
It's terrible.
I mean, we
Terrible.
just wait for us. As our principal said, we are going to Supreme Court, but our lawyers should make sure that the certified true copy they got, they have to read it and compare with what those guys read, listen to that thing properly, read it line by line to make sure that nothing has been tampered with. And Black Panther make a good point this evening also, that Nigerian judges now said that there's ignorance in law, that Shetty man did not do that thing intentionally.
Double nomination. Just imagine what a judge was saying, that double nomination, that because
It, it wasn't intentional.
it
A
wasn't
criminal, a
intentional.
criminal will not have to tell you his intention. That's a
What-
criminal act.
So it simply means that somebody can go and buy somebody tomorrow and say, oh, no, it was not intentional. I didn't want to buy somebody.
Exactly.
That's what he just said.
It's
Maybe
true.
they need our help. They need the military help. So I'm observing them very well. I'm still reading the body language of the judges. Maybe they are asking us to, or asking the military to step in, to kind of like maybe this reading the body language. Maybe they are saying, hey, I think our hands are tied. We can't help you if you don't help us. And I'm very sure the military, they are watching, they are listening, they are looking at them. Military, they are very, very cunning. They will put the constitution in front of them. They will get the copies of those judgments. They will read it because they're always looking for something to hold. They will read it over and over again. They will flip it, flip it, flip it. The concern is always in the military here. You see another military man on the street, the concern is in his head. He knows it. He will tell you, oh no, that's wrong. So some Nigerian policemen you see on the street, they don't even know what's in the constitution.
Hey, gentlemen, let me go and sleep. It's past 1 a.m. here in the UK. Let me go and sleep. Hope to see you people tomorrow and all through the weekend. That is special grace. Give us our mandate. See you tomorrow, Chris.
Yeah, have
Anyway,
a blessed night, everyone.
yeah, Chris, you are in
Very much,
Dublin. So yeah, okay, yeah, peace off. You are in US. So see
Thank you
you.
very much, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. See you guys tomorrow.
Oh, God, see,
Uh,
peace off.
Abio, everybody sleep.
Sleep
So
well. Tomorrow, the struggle continues.
it continues. So even when somebody barged into us today, like you told me, Chris, I take your advice. It's just to wind you up and then see. These
Yeah.
people. I don't know why should. Okay, you say Tinubu has won. Why not bring champagne too? I thought he should have said, Niger Watch, I told you. No, it's true. He would have said, Niger Watch, I told you Tinubu will win and he won. And so I'm donating a carton. I mean, somebody can understand that. No, say you are celebrating. then, then you then you go, you
here
are
to convince us to
then
accept.
you are still campaigning. But you say you've won. And everywhere is dead silent in Nigeria. If even Agbero,
Because
will vote.
because if somebody tells a lie, you need more lies to keep supporting
Exactly.
that lie. They've taken a stolen mandate, so they will keep campaigning. They will continuously be campaigning every time to keep the genuineness of the mandate alive. As simple as that.
You know what they did now?
Of
There's
course they
something.
do.
There's one thing on Twitter called stats. Is it stats san? and they were just propagating lies about saying that there are some people like Yaradua didn't get to that person of Abuja, and they were declared president. You see that lie? They even went as far as doing that on Twitter. These guys, they've ruined that country. Only God can help. Only, I mean, I don't know what we have to do at this time, but we'll continue to go.
It's a big lie.
We are the
Tinubu is
one
the only
to
presidential
take
candidate
back
that
our
has
country.
never won Abuja. He's the only one.
We are the one to take back our country. If the military strike, we support them. Whoever strike to restore our country back, we just have to support them. One of the reasons military may not want to strike, they want to look at the Nigerians' reaction. If we strike, will they support us? So that's very key. So if we are saying we're not going to support them, they can be very, very skeptical because the military will always need the support of the masses, of the people, you know. So that's why I always tell people I don't tell judges to please I don't say I know the judges will do the right thing. How? If they gave a judgment against me tomorrow, what will I not say? We don't say we know the judges will do the right thing or the judges will have confidence in our judiciary. How? I've not heard President Trump saying that he has confidence in American judiciary. He's always criticizing them. He will tell them they must invoke the Constitution. That's why he's still rolling about because he makes sure that he pays them with the Constitution. He still goes about his business. He's still campaigning. Why? Because the Constitution is standing for him. If not, they would have trashed him. So we don't say we trust the judiciary. We don't trust the judiciary. They are human beings. They have their emotions. They have their feelings. But they should invoke the Constitution. That's what matters. If these guys had invoked the Constitution on Wednesday or Tuesday, we wouldn't be here talking like this. These guys, number one, they would have been disqualified. They will know, okay, they are going to appeal that disqualification. You know. But because these guys, they refuse to invoke the Constitution, someone is telling me that it's not intentional. What do you mean by that? That somebody committed a crime. It's not intentional?
You see,
A
that's
judge.
exactly.
Because we live in a shameless country.
It's true.
Nothing more than that.
At this point, nobody is talking about the economy. You know when I told them, before, what I know about Almajiri is you stretch your hand, somebody will give you money. That is begging. So how can a government will come to the level where government will announce that every state will get 5 billion, then and some trailer loads of rice? That is that democracy? So we've gone to that. Okay, if you bring the rice and they eat it on Wednesday, what happens on Thursday? This country, Nigeria. Okay. If you share rice, what of beans? You know, go share beans.
What of meat?
No meat now for that one now for big men now we need poverty alleviation. This Nigeria can be funny. So if
people went to India to discuss nobody said in India said due to India G20 that his top priority is climate change. So now I was wondering, okay, we can understand that Joe Biden's top priority going to India is climate change. What's Tinubu's top priority? Can you tell us?
Look for investors that he said it when sometimes ago that he went to France that they were going to look for investors.
That was after he won the election.
They didn't get investors in France. You see how people can be telling these guys I don't know.
Remember Joe Biden is going there. His top priority is climate change. Remember when they get there, they will force this climate change on all of them. So we're going to be thinking of where to get money now to sponsor climate change. Do you understand what's going on?
The moment they announced Tinubu winner, he disappeared to France. They say, even before being sworn in, he done the work. He's going to host a lot of meetings with investors. But if you go TVC, those people know the shame. You could just see somebody just they talk lie, just they dish out lies. He said, it's not even. He said he never even do inauguration. You know, they wait. He don't switch into action. He don't. They go. He has a lot of business meeting. You go meet investors. Some on client, some on power, some on this. Nothing where they no talk. Now Tinubu came back. We see him with peak syringe. Nobody in carry.
Oh, armpit.
Una no see I been a lie.
Armpit.
They saying they go meet investors. Okay, we agree. When he come back now, go reach Abuja, they receive and to wave to the crowd now. We see waiting they give him a blood. Don't say the man lie for bed for all those weeks. You know, now he make him after that day, you know they wear short sleeve again. If
That's
you notice,
exactly the point I had to make. Since that day, they denied the event, but since that day, no short sleeve.
Tinubu know they wear short sleeve again, and they must put hand inside the agbada. I looked this and I say, hey, I said these people, una know they tire, una know they tire. Which
Now
one?
it's gonna come back from India now and it's
You
going
know,
to tell us about climate change. You know, the climate change. Maybe the climate change also affected our judges. We don't know it.
you know, then go blame him. Then go tell and say, why you go wave crowd? You go say forget now. You know, no, say the thing go show. Otherwise, now long sleeve in for where reach here so that when you remove our people can see needle and say where a carry say see. Eh? And now every small moment he done they go, he say they go meet. So all those investors no go fit call Nigeria. Every time they go France, go meet them. If they go France,
Have you ever seen where America president left the United States to go and look for investors? Investors come in when your economy is good. Investors will come. They will bet.
eh?
They will bet to
Invest,
invest in your economy. You don't
investors
have
are
good quality, no road,
invest,
no
invest,
electricity.
investors are like ant. Ant you know where sugar they. No do you go tell ant where sugar they. You know, okay, when you keep sugar, they tell ant come sugar they. Now then go find them. Investors know where they to go. Every every
Is it even shame for journalists to be talking like that?
every time Tinubu go run go France.
Now,
Go take
now you will tell that it's easier to get investors. That
yeah.
so you are the one going after investors, not investors going after you. Think about it.
Hey,
All
come
right,
on,
thank you,
Lord, this thing.
gentlemen. God bless you. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you
Okay.
guys tomorrow. Yeah,
I want
thank you.
okay. Me say if I go
Bye-bye.
sleep, it's 1 a.m. here, past 1. So Chris, be soft. Give us a mandate. See you people tomorrow, I beg. Thank you. Una do well.
Bless you guys. Thank you,
Bye
everybody.
bye.
God bless you.